What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about this video of an American disrespecting a London police officer. And I have to admit, I am not looking forward to this. I think it's behavior like this that gives Americans such a negative reputation. But at the same time, I'm also very curious to see how this American really treated this British police officer. So I'm pretty sure this is just a classic case of an American that's going to make a fool of themselves. The title of this video is An Educated, quote, educated American thinks he can school the police in London. So let's check it out.
And in today's episode, we're going to see an American tourist challenge British police on the legality of the stop. You don't want to miss this, as this is going to be informative, educational, and fun. Obviously.
So it's an American tourist challenging the London police on whether they were stopped legally. Like, I wonder if they were stopped in their car or stopped on the road, or I want some background info here.
You know how the Americans are going to be, and you know how the British are going to be. So this is a match made in heaven. Let's go. There's going to be more bobbies on the way.
Wait a minute. You know how the Americans are going to be? Is it so is it so widely accepted in Britain how Americans are going to behave themselves that you can pretty much be like, "Oh, he's an American. You know how this is going to go." Is the reputation that bad, actually? Wow.
Let's do this. Like, comment, share.
Am I free to, no, am I free to go?
No, not at the moment.
So am I being detained?
You've been detained here for the moment, yes.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that there's been a serious assault inside the premises.
What does that have to do with us?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Already, within 10 seconds, this American is so unlikable. Like, why is he putting up such a resistance to just talking with the police? And his first reaction is to be like, can I go? Can I go? Can I go? And not even talk to the police officer with some kind of like respectful conversation. And on top of it all, she is being very reasonable and very polite, honestly, given the circumstances.
That there's been a serious assault inside the premises.
What does that have to do with us?
Because you may be involved, or you...
Yeah, there's been an assault. There's been like an attack and assault inside the nearby premises. And they need to talk to people who are at the premises. You know, maybe the American got a little unlucky being there, but it is what it is. You should just cooperate with the police and try to help them. I don't understand this, and I think a lot of Americans have this knee-jerk instant reaction to be defiant, and also to try to like seize power over the situation. Like, instead of just working together, it makes no sense.
You may be
Does
a
a
witness.
person give you a description of whatever was involved?
Very vague description, and that's
Okay.
what we're trying to
There's a white
find.
guy and a black guy here. Do either one of us fit the description?
I think at this point, you can tell what sort of interaction this is going to be. I mean, again, we have to understand that obviously in an ongoing investigation, where there's an investigation that's taking place currently, as you know, these people were having a conversation, there are certain, you know, prerequisites that you have to understand and have to take on board, especially when it comes to an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, I mean, so far, the the American here is acting like this is just the most crazy, outlandish thing they've ever, like, why are you stopping me? Like, it's like they're just investigating a crime and like talking to someone who may or may not have been involved, but will probably have some information. Pretty standard police protocol, to be honest. So it's like, why? And a lot of the time, the police are there to just like help you or inform you. So I don't understand why the American is getting so mad. Like,
You might be
Description.
witnesses, though.
Eh?
You might be a witness.
I told you, I've already told you I have not seen anything.
But we need to make sure that is the case.
But what the case is, I'm telling you I haven't seen
Right, the
anything.
thing
This
is,
gentleman said he
until-
hasn't seen anything.
Yeah, but the thing
well, honestly, and again, the British police officers are being very, very like, they're not raising their voices. They're speaking pretty reasonably, actually, and pretty clear, like why they're there and why they're talking to him. I don't know. This is for no reason. This guy is escalating the situation, and actually, he is making himself come across as more suspicious. Honestly, with how hostile he's being.
is,
Now,
until
I'm.
we speak
What is
to
your name?
PC Hawkins.
And what is your name?
Lucy Jones,
Am I free to go?
being detained.
On what grounds?
On
I'm American, so I know.
Now, normally I don't really get involved in this.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't just say that. No, no, no. No, no. He did not just say, I'm American, so I know. What are you talking about? You're in Britain. You're in London. You don't know anything. You're a visitor. You're the outsider. You don't know what's going on or how the laws work or how police conduct is goes. That's crazy to say that. I'm an American, so I know. It almost came across like he was really trying to say, I'm American, so I can do what I want. I don't have to listen to you. I can go. In America, a lot of people, I have heard this line of questioning, am I being detained? Am I being detained? Because it is true in the United States. They can't really hold you there and keep you from leaving unless you're technically being detained. So I don't know how the law works in Britain, but that's why he keeps saying that specific line. And being detained in the UK might mean something different than America. So for him to presume he understands what's going on, I'm American, so I know. They should make T-shirts with that. Oh, I've never heard such a thing.
These sort of situations, but I have to on this occasion because I feel like the American person has this sort of vendetta or this this demeanor that sort of demands authority or demands respect, which is okay. I get that, but at the same time, you are in a foreign land, you are a tourist in a land, so you should try and understand what the people are telling you, the people that are from the land, and do not expect them to go along by the laws or the jurisdiction that you have in your country. That's just nonsensical. That makes no...
That is nonsense. The idea that he can say, I'm American, so this doesn't apply to me. It's like, what are you talking about? Now it's proving that he really has no idea what he's talking about. Because when you're in another country, that is the law of the land. I'm really curious what's going to happen by the end of this.
No sense.
On what grounds? Be careful what you say. On what grounds am I being detained for?
Oh my god, this guy is insufferable. Insufferable. Speaking to people like this. What police officers are not just speaking to people like this. Watch what you say. Watch what you say. On what like, what are you doing? He's pulled out his phone. He's videotaping this like he's gonna come across as the victim here, which is also funny.
You've been explained enough times.
I'm going to get up and leave. Is there a reason why I cannot leave?
If you just bear with me a few minutes,
I don't want to bear
I'm gonna
because
go-
I don't want to bear with you until you told that guy to stop using his phone. That's why
Right, the concern I have, okay, is that for all I know...
am I free to go?
No, listen a minute.
No,
I'm
don't
trying
forget
to
about all that.
explain.
Am I free to go?
No, you've asked me. You've
Yes,
said-
ma'am.
you've
Am I free to go?
questioned about it.
Oh my god, this is like the worst. And this must give these London police officers a pretty, like, this is going to stick in their mind and be like, oh, this is what dealing with Americans is like. They're going to remember this too. I feel embarrassed for Americans right now. He won't even show them the common courtesy of just speaking to them, engaging in a conversation for a few minutes, which they're very politely at. They don't even have to be so polite about this, but they are. Probably because they think they're dealing with an absolute moron who's unhinged, and they might be right.
And I'm just explaining to you.
Am I free to go? Yes, I'm aware, totally aware. Am I free to go?
You haven't admitted.
How many times do they have to say he's not free to go? It's very funny to me, because like I can tell what he's doing. In the United States, you might pull out a camera and try to get the police to say something that's going to incriminate them. Like, they might say, you're not free to go, even though legally you need to be allowed to leave if they're not detaining you. But he's presuming all the laws are the same, or that the police don't have the right to question him at a crime scene. Like, yeah, it makes no sense.
What's a question?
Yeah, because you guys, like, I'm sitting here, I'm cooperating, but
Again, I don't want to be that guy, but maybe I'm watching the wrong video because I'm not.
Yeah. I'm cooperating? He's mad because he's cooperating? He's not cooperating. He's doing the opposite of cooperating. He's been the most resistant and unhelpful possible in this. They're just trying to get to the bottom of this assault investigation. I've been cooperating. I cannot believe he just said that. I can't believe that.
Seeing the corporation, where is it? At what point did that happen? Or is it going to happen? I'm just a bit confused, but yeah, let's go.
but now, like, you guys are pushing, you can't use the bathroom.
Hold on.
You know,
I've explained to you why you can't use the bathroom. You haven't let me explain yet why I was saying
no, you don't
about-
want, now you're ready to explain because the video camera's on. Ma'am,
No, I had already explained because it's on my video camera.
okay, but
I had already
your video
explained
camera only
why
gets
you don't-
used in case of an incident that needs to be reported.
No,
Okay.
not necessarily. It can be used for anything. It can be used
Okay,
for complaints
exactly,
or anything.
exactly, a complaint, exactly.
yes.
So if you complain,
What is this dude needs help. This man has some issues. In America, the relationship between Americans and our police has certainly been a strained one, a bumpy road, where a lot of Americans do feel some hostility towards police in the United States because of a variety of events that have taken place in the last few years. That's the only thing I can really think of, because I'm trying to figure out why this guy has such a hostility towards the police. Such nice police as well, who are just like over and over again, just trying. It's funny because the police are probably sick of this conversation. They want to get away from him just as badly as he does. They just want to finish this conversation and go. But it's really this American who's dragging this out. He could have been done by now with this little talk if you just talked to them.
complains, you have to pull that video camera up. If nobody complains, you don't need to pull it up. So I'm asking you, are we free to go?
All right, cool. Let's
Does
go.
he
This
even-
guy is
I don't even know what he's talking about anymore. He's just saying nonsense at this point. Like what is he even saying?
keeping me busy, but I don't mind. Let's do this. So, in the UK, if a police officer records you with his body cam, you can have access to that footage because you are a data subject and they are data handlers. So, according to GDPR policies and the new framework that's been put into place, you can have access to that content regardless of, you know, whether you're making a complaint, whether you are making a story, or whether you just want it for yourself. You
Interesting. I don't know exactly how it works in the United States. I don't think it works quite like that. In the UK, you can request the video footage if you're part of it. That's actually really nice. I didn't know that.
can have access to that footage. Now, I'm not sure whether the same principles apply to a foreign national, so you know, in this case, an American. So, might have to look into that.
Oh,
But
are we free to go?
Well, no.
Are we free? Oh my god! If he says, Are we free to go one more time? One more time. That is his favorite sentence. No, you're not. Just answer the questions.
Are you gonna let me
Are we being
explain
detained?
to you? Are you going to let me
No,
explain to you?
no, I've just answered my questions. Are we free to go?
Also, they have said he's being detained. He is not free to go so many times. And he keeps asking that. Like,
No, we've explained.
Why are we not free to go?
Because there's a crime that's been alleged that's happened in here.
Is there
We need-
descriptions of
we
the
need
people?
Time to get a fuller description.
I told you
there
we just-
may be other accomplices involved. There may be significant witnesses. Okay.
If I get
So
up and
for
leave,
the moment,
is there you going to try to stop me from leaving? Is there any rules that saying that I cannot leave?
I would ask you.
You're asking me,
stay
but I don't
here.
want to stay anymore because I want to go. My headache is now subsided and I'd like to leave.
this is hard to watch. Like, seriously, like, I am feeling such secondhand annoyance and secondhand anger right now. These officers are saints for keeping so level-headed up to this point. This is the most annoying American I've ever heard. I hope to never encounter them in my entire life. She could not explain more clearly the situation and why he is being questioned. And that's not enough for him. Nothing is going to be enough for him because he doesn't want this situation to be okay. He wants there to be conflict and argument. That's clearly his goal.
Am I free to go?
Just bear
Am I
with
free to
me.
go?
Can you just wait one?
See what happens when someone's educated?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, where do we even start? Where do we start?
Oh,
I'm just gonna say 2 words.
he's giving me a headache. He had a headache. He's giving me a headache. He thinks the worst part is this American actually thinks he's getting he's coming out on top in this interaction. That he looks good. He's like, yeah, that's what happens when you're educated. Ha! I think I kind of understand what's going on. There are a lot of videos in the United States of Americans using the law to not comply with police officers in the United States. You don't have to talk to police officers in the United States. You don't have to cooperate with certain things. You can record them. You can ask if you're being detained. And if you're not being detained, you can leave. That's all true in America. I'm not sure what it's like in Britain, but even if all this was the same, what is the point in being so nasty and so uncooperative with the police? Why not just help them? It makes you look suspicious, and you're also just not, like, you should just do your public service and help the police, you know? If it's just a few minutes, he's talking about, oh, I have a headache, I want to leave. She's just like, can we just talk for a few minutes? And he's like, no, I don't wanna. It's like, okay, like, really? Really? Like, you're visiting London and this is how you're gonna behave?
Dunning-Kruger.
It would have been an agent.
Yes, it does. Because I'm asking, am I free to go? And now you guys, I know I'm free to go.
Listen, man. You don't see
He knows he's free to go. He knows. Well, okay, yeah, sure. Bring this to court, and he wants to get a huge settlement, get millions of dollars out of this, because he was illegally detained. It's like, no, bro, you don't have any idea what's going on.
see us coming to your side of the pond and telling your cops how to do their jobs, man. So if you know you're free to go, man, go, man. Go about your business, man. What are you waiting for, man? Go, man.
I know I am.
How do you
And
know?
he's free to go. Are you free to go?
I think so.
Yes. You're telling him you can't use the bathroom.
You can't because it's a
You know what else this is, maybe? So he just showed his friend, at the beginning of this video, he said, there's a white guy here, and there's a black guy. I think the person recording might be a black person, And in the United States, as I was saying earlier, alluding to, black people in the United States in particular have an even worse relationship with the police in the United States, because there's a history of documented like crimes that police have really mistreated the black community in the United States, and there's videos of it, some of which have gotten very famous in the last few years. So that could explain a lot about why he has such a negative attitude towards police. He has possibly very negative personal experiences with American police. That could explain some of this to me, maybe, if I'm correct about this.
Seems a crime. You've been
Okay.
explained that, so
Okay.
we did
But
explain that to you, that
exactly,
crime scene
and therefore,
until that
you've had,
cornered.
description of whatever the case may be.
No, we've had a description of where it happened. It's alleged to have happened.
Are we free to go?
Can we-
I need to answer now because I'm going to get up and leave.
She will be back and she will let you know.
No, I'm going to get up now and leave.
You
I-
can't wait.
Why does he keep asking, is he free to go? That I don't understand. Like, they've answered that question many times.
What, 2 minutes less than
Why do I have to wait? So I'm lawfully being detained.
Pardon?
Yes.
Am I unlawfully being detained at this moment?
Yes.
Not unlawfully, no.
Okay,
You've
so
been
I
asked-
am a free to go.
We've asked you to stay. A fair thing to
No,
to
it's
wait.
unfair because you
it's
told this
fair.
gentleman he cannot use the
You
bathroom.
can't because it's a crime scene.
It is a crime scene, which is
Okay.
not it's not-
Yes. No, I'm not alright because we're free to. Are we being?
No, you're not free to go at the moment.
Okay. Well, what's the reason?
I don't know why that was so funny to me. I love that they got this dude. They got this they got this officer to come over. And the smug American is like, "Am I free to go?" And this guy is like, "No, you're not free to go." Just instantly like, "No, you're not." Because the whole time this American has been waiting for them to be like, "Okay, you're free to go. We don't want to like unlawfully detain you." And it's like, that might happen in America, but here it's like this officer's like, "Yeah, no, you're not free to go. You're not." It's just like no nonsense. So completely shut him down.
Well, we're still investigating what's gone on here. Something's happened. There's an allegation of crime, and we need to work out what's going on.
Okay. Do you have a description of those people?
We
of the
do,
crime?
yeah.
Okay. Do either one of us fit description? One of
At
us.
the moment, yes.
Okay. So which one needs to go then?
You both need to stay.
Come on. There's a black guy and a white guy here. One of us fit the description.
No, you both need to stay.
What's it on what grounds?
On what grounds? I'm sorry, this American just makes no, like, the American is desperately trying to trap them and make them look bad or say something incorrect, but the American is just saying nonsense. Nonsense. It's like he's not even listening. They're being detained. They are not free to go. They are both suspects, regardless of race. They are both suspects. They are both at an active crime scene. All extremely reasonable. Like, that completely answers. They're at an active crime scene. One of them fits the description of the criminal, and the other could be an accomplice for all they know. And he's like, on what grounds? On what grounds?
On what grounds is because we don't know what's going on at the moment.
You need to find out because we
Well,
need
that's
to go.
what we're doing, sir.
All right.
Sir, I promise you we won't keep you here any longer than we need to.
No, it's the fact that they don't want to let him use his phone and use the bathroom. This is the only reason why I put my camera out.
Well, I've got my camera on as well.
It doesn't
so-
matter about your cameras. My camera is more important than yours.
Absolutely.
All right. So are we being? I'm ready to leave now.
No, you're not going anywhere.
Okay.
sir.
And are you going to stop me from leaving?
Yes, I will.
On what grounds?
Well, on the grounds that I suspect you might be involved in a criminal matter.
Okay, on a criminal matter. And this gentleman also.
Same.
I'm so glad this officer came over. That's the crux of the whole situation. And honestly, they should have said this sooner. They should have said, on what grounds? on the grounds that I suspect you are part of this crime. I mean, of course the Americans might have nothing to do with this crime. Sure, but the police need to figure that out. And for the moment, they don't have all the information. So it's like, why are we keeping you? Because you are suspects. You're at the crime scene. And that is like, I don't know what the American could possibly say to dispute this, but I'm sure he'll try.
Okay, what's your name?
It's Sergeant Hall.
And what's your name?
Sergeant Bing.
And your name again?
Jones.
And?
Lucy Hawkins.
Okay, so you're actually illegally detaining us
No,
right
we're
now.
not illegally detaining you.
I do believe you are
Well,
because
that's fine, sir.
because the simple fact is you have a description of a person.
Added a rank to myself.
There's a white guy and a black guy here, and you're still telling me that one of us is for description. So one of us needs to go.
You both need to stay safe.
See, this is why I think the person filming is a black man who thinks they are racially profiling him or something, or that this is racist, or because he does keep bringing up this black-white thing. And perhaps they do know if the suspect is black or white, but the two of them are together. They're friends. So it doesn't really matter at this point. They're accomplices, if nothing else. But the fact that he keeps going back to this, one of us is black, one of us is white, which one is it? To me, says that he's almost looking for some kind of racist connotation here, which doesn't seem to be the case.
Look, I appreciate your frustration.
No, the frustration is that the guy wanted to use the bathroom, and they didn't even want to let him use the bathroom. Now, if something happens to his bladder, it's on you guys.
Oh my god, I never knew. I didn't know going into this how infuriating this was going to be. If something seriously, dude? Seriously? If something happens to his bladder, that's on you. It's like, well, if you turn out to be the criminal and we let you go and you go murder someone, that's on us. So what's more important? Us making sure neither of you are criminals or your friend's bladder? Like, what?
Then I'm willing to take
You're not allowed to detain anybody from using the bathroom.
What to do?
Because you just don't, like I say, as
Yeah,
soon
come
as,
with me for any toilet, public toilet. I'm going to do myself. When you come
I
back,
was sitting there quietly. I only pulled my phone out because she didn't want to let him use the bathroom.
Yeah, well,
can really
sir,
get
she's well within her rights due to the nature of the allegation.
You cannot stop someone from using the body fluids.
What is he talking? This is... This American thinks he knows it. Has he studied British law? He has the gall to just talk like he knows everything. You can't stop someone from peeing. It's like, says who? How would you know?
No, you cannot. Are you serious? Are you listening? You're telling someone they cannot use the bathroom.
Sir, the nature of the allegation need to keep everyone here.
I can't do anything.
I appreciate frustration.
I'm not frustrated. Just that the guy. I know I ain't do nothing. That's why I only put. This guy here wants to use the bathroom. You guys didn't want to let him use the bathroom.
Alright guys, so quickly just to give you a summary, these two gentlemen were stopped by police as they suspect.
Look at this. This guy has made such a big scene. He has like 8 police officers around him now. All because he wanted to make a big show of how he's not going to cooperate. Now he's got 8 or 10 police officers around him, and rightfully so, because he's acting just irrational and unhinged.
Them of being involved in a criminal incident. As investigation was taking place, as the police were gathering evidence and information in regards to the incident, one of the suspects asks whether he can use the toilet. The police officers tell him that at that moment he could not use the toilet, he would have to hold it essentially.
Right.
And this is where the gentleman with the camera, the American gentleman, steps in, brings out the camera and tries to record it all together.
Well, oh my gosh. Well, honestly, if you think about it, if you were allowed to use the toilet at any time, then I could just rob a bank and walk outside with the money. And if the police tried to capture me, I'd just say, I have to go to the bathroom. And I could just run off to the bathroom. They're not allowed to stop me, because under no circumstance can you stop someone from going to the bathroom ever. So it's all criminals can just commit crimes and say, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. You can't stop me. It's absolutely preposterous.
For his purposes. I hope you've enjoyed this. Smash a like and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Oh my gosh, that was an ordeal. Oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was in for there. That was frustrating. That was a really embarrassing representation of Americans traveling abroad. What else? Like, it doesn't even matter if they are the criminals or not. They're just being rude for no reason and uncooperative, which might be a crime. Even if you didn't commit the crime, you pretty much have to cooperate with the police. Like, that is a reasonable thing that society demands. So crazy. But again, like, this behavior isn't all that unheard of in the United States. A lot of people do start filming police in the US and give them a hard time. And sometimes they're correct in the United States. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they're correct that the police are racially profiling them, that the police are illegally detaining them. That can happen, for sure. So I understand a little bit why this American was approaching this from that angle, but it was clear that that just was not the case in this circumstance. Just not the case. Just police officers doing their job. Just doing their job. And being quite polite about it, too. Much more polite than an American police officer would be, to be honest. So, that was a doozy. Holy cow. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on this American thinking that he's more educated than the London police. And, and it'd be interesting to hear from British perspectives about all this and how he behaved. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.